Imagine settling thousands in debt for just a fraction of what you owe. It sounds impossible, but debt settlement, done right, can help you escape the cycle for pennies on the dollar. The trick? Knowing how to negotiate and work with collectors without getting scammed. In this video, we'll break down real strategies to reduce what you owe and rebuild your financial freedom. Subscribe now, your comeback starts here. Debt can be one of the heaviest burdens a person carries. It grows silently. One bill, one missed payment, one interest charge at a time, until it feels impossible to escape. The truth is, debt settlement can either be your financial rebirth or a costly mistake, depending on how you handle it. Here's everything you need to know about how it works, when it helps, and how to make it work in your favor. Point 10. Understanding what debt settlement really is. Debt settlement is a negotiation between you and your creditors to pay less than you owe. For example, if you owe $10,000 in credit card debt, a settlement might allow you to pay $4,000 as a one-time payment, and the lender agrees to forgive the rest. Creditors often accept these deals because something is better than nothing, especially if they believe you might default completely. However, this isn't debt forgiveness or a loophole to escape your obligations. It's a financial agreement, one that comes with consequences for your credit report and taxes. Done correctly, it can free you from suffocating debt. Done carelessly, it can damage your financial future even more. Point 9. When debt settlement makes sense. Debt settlement is most effective when you're already behind on payments and struggling to stay afloat. If your accounts are several months overdue, creditors are usually more willing to negotiate since they'd rather collect a portion now than risk you declaring bankruptcy later. It works best for unsecured debts, like credit cards, personal loans, and medical bills, because there's no collateral involved. However, it's not suitable for secured debts like car loans or mortgages, where the lender can repossess or foreclose if you don't pay. 8. How much you can expect to settle for. There's no universal number, but many creditors will settle for somewhere between 30% and 60% of what you owe, depending on your situation. If you owe $10,000, you might negotiate it down to $4,000 or $5,000 in a single payment. Creditors who have already written off your account as bad debt or sold it to a collection agency may even accept less, since they bought your debt at a discount anyway. The more you can pay up front, the stronger your position will be. Point 7. Should you do it yourself or hire a company? You have two ways to approach debt settlement. Handle it on your own or hire a debt settlement company. Doing it yourself is entirely possible and can save you thousands in fees. You'll need to contact creditors directly, explain your financial hardship honestly, and negotiate a fair amount. Persistence and politeness go a long way here. If you choose to work with a debt settlement company, they'll do the negotiating for you, but at a price. Many charge 15 to 25% of the total debt, and some might ask you to stop making payments while they negotiate, which can harm your credit score even further. Point 6. The step-by-step process of debt settlement follows a pattern that requires both patience and strategy. First, you usually stop making payments for a few months to show creditors that you're in financial distress. During this time, you save as much money as possible in a dedicated account. Once enough is saved, you contact your creditors or collectors to explain your hardship, job loss, medical issues, or reduced income, and offer a lump sum payment to settle the account. Start lower than you can afford. If you can pay 50%, offer 30% first and negotiate upward. If they accept, always demand a written agreement clearly stating that your payment will settle the debt in full. Never send money without this document. 5. How it affects your credit score. Debt settlement almost always lowers your credit score temporarily. When you stop making payments, your account becomes delinquent, and that negative history will remain for several years. Even after settlement, your credit report will usually show the account as settled for less than the full balance, which signals risk to future lenders. However, while it hurts in the short term, it's not permanent. The damage fades over time, and your credit can recover within a couple of years, especially if you start rebuilding immediately by paying all other bills on time, keeping balances low, and avoiding new debt. 4. The hidden costs and tax traps. Debt settlement can save you thousands, but it's not completely free of consequences. The IRS considers forgiven debt over $600 as taxable income. For example, if you owed $10,000 and settled for $4,000, the remaining $6,000 could be reported as income, meaning you'll owe taxes on it. This catches many people off guard. Additionally, if you use a debt settlement company, they'll charge service fees that reduce your total savings. Some creditors might also sell the remaining portion of your debt to another collector if your settlement wasn't clearly documented. The best protection is to keep every letter, email, and record of payment as proof that the debt was resolved. Point 3. Avoiding scams in the settlement industry. The promise of debt freedom attracts both desperate borrowers and dishonest companies. Scammers often prey on people who are already struggling. Warning signs include companies that demand large upfront fees, guarantee specific settlement amounts, or tell you to stop communicating with your creditors. No legitimate company can guarantee a 90% reduction before seeing your accounts. The most dangerous advice some give is to stop paying your creditors entirely, which can spiral into lawsuits or wage garnishments. 2. Other options besides settlement. Debt settlement isn't for everyone, and sometimes there are better alternatives. If you still have good credit, debt consolidation may be safer, combining all debts into one payment at a lower interest rate. Nonprofit credit counseling agencies can also create a debt management plan, helping you repay in full over time with reduced rates. If your situation is severe, bankruptcy might be the last resort, wiping out most unsecured debts completely but damaging your credit for years. Every option has trade-offs, but the goal is the same: financial stability and peace of mind. Settlement simply offers a middle ground, not as harsh as bankruptcy, but more aggressive than consolidation. Point 1. Turning debt settlement into a fresh start. Debt settlement only works if it's part of a bigger plan. It's not just about negotiating balances. It's about transforming your relationship with money. Once you've settled your debts, focus on rebuilding your financial health. Check your credit report regularly to ensure all settled accounts are correctly marked. Build an emergency fund so you never have to rely on high-interest credit again. Create a budget that prioritizes savings and living within your means. And most importantly, don't fall back into the trap of using credit to survive. Settlement should be your reset button, the point where financial chaos turns into control. Debt settlement is possible, but only with strategy and patience. Collectors want their money. You want peace of mind. Meet in the middle and you can close the chapter for less than you think. If this video helped you understand the process, hit like, share, and subscribe for more guides on taking control of your money, beating debt, and building a future you actually own.